Obviously, in any kind of mine, you can't be afraid of the dark because it's
Oh no, yeah, they
it's
get
pitch
dark.
dark
Yeah.
in there.
My dad was always a catfishing. They used to catfish back in the days. And that was back in the days when there was a lot more water
What are
around.
you gonna do with that? He's like, I'm gonna take him home and eat him. I'm like, that's a gopher snake. I'm like, that's okay.
Whatever.
Maybe. Yeah, he got it home and he cooked it. He threw it on the grill and it was so tough.
Figure out how I can share it aside from the videos and stuff, which I've enjoyed. And
welcome to Two Side Outdoors.
Hey guys, welcome back. Another episode. So today, got a special guest, someone that I met off of Facebook. That I joined a new Facebook group that was just recently created, Yuma Bass Anglers, and it's a pretty cool group. Shout out to them. And I got Isaiah here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's tell me about yourself a bit.
Well, I was born and raised in Virginia, and then, like I had mentioned a little bit earlier, I grew up in like the countryside of Virginia. It started getting overran, overcrowded. I left there and went to Tennessee. Beautiful mountains out there, nice country life.
No, yeah, it's nice.
Ended up joining the Marine Corps and got stationed out here in Yuma. I've been fishing my whole life. I love fishing. Used to fish tournaments and all that good stuff. And now that I am over this way, it's a lot different water, a lot different environment.
Totally different.
Yeah, it's a major difference. But I haven't been too heavily into tournaments lately, but I've still been fishing a lot. I got into the Facebook group, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Great fishing community out here.
It is.
Awesome fishing community out here.
There is like the few guys out there that are just like total dicks about it and stuff, but then there's other ones. Everyone else is very welcoming.
I feel like that's gonna be like the case anywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all the places that I've been and fished, this is like the best fishing community I've ever seen. I was actually talking to my wife about that the other day.
No, yeah, that's one thing for sure. It's like when I first moved out here, I was like, okay, I see there's a lot of water. We have the river right here close by. There's Mitri Lake.
Yep.
And then there's all the canals and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, let me search Facebook and we find some of the forums, groups, and stuff.
Yeah.
So Yuma Fishing Forum came up, and I was like, okay, ask a couple questions on there. I was like, I didn't really get too far there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I joined 928 Flathead Boys.
Okay.
That group.
Yep.
And shout out to Joseph Lugo, pretty cool guy. Supplies a lot of catfishermen and stuff with a lot of tackle.
Oh, nice. I haven't had a chance to meet him yet.
Pretty cool, real cool guy. Very knowledgeable too on catfish and stuff like that. And once I talked to him, I just started like slowly like making more progress catching catfish that way.
Nice. Off of the river?
Most of mine was on a lot of canals, like the Heel of Gravity.
Yeah.
I've caught some on the Yuma Main Canal.
Okay.
Caught a couple catfish there.
Okay. I haven't fished the canals too much. I kind of like getting out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I normally go to like Lake Martinez, Squaw Lake, Senator's Wash, stuff like that.
See, I haven't gotten out that far yet.
No? It's beautiful. It's such good fishing out there, man. It's extremely calm, like crystal clear water.
Oh, nice.
Senator's Wash it's a reservoir,
Mm-hmm.
so it's pretty deep.
Yeah.
But if you go on the other side of the dam to Squaw Lake, it's shallow water, it's grassy water.
That's cool.
It's awesome for striper and largemouth bass.
See, that's the thing. Like, just recently, so the last tournament that Joseph Lugo had thrown for the catfish tournament,
Mm-hmm.
I won a 8-foot kayak
Oh, nice.
as one of the raffle prizes.
Nice.
And so it's like me and my brother-in-law, we took, because I have another kayak as well. So it's like there was two of them now that we have.
Mm-hmm.
We took them out to Mitri and sitting there one morning, just fishing the edge basically with all like the toolies and reeds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And got a decent little, like 1-2 pound bass out of there.
Oh, nice.
Just topwater stuff. And I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, sweet. This is pretty fun.
Yeah, I love
Let's
fishing
keep doing
topwater, man. I love topwater. That's probably my go-to out here so far, especially like early morning,
Yeah.
summertime. They love it.
And that was like, okay, because I kept on hearing people on Facebook just talk about just topwater was off the hook right now.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. Try it. I was throwing a little, like, bluegill, like one of the ones that has a little propeller thing on it, a little,
Yeah, yep.
I don't know how to
Whopper
describe
clopper?
Kind of, yeah, like those, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they work really good. They got good action. like all the noise and bubbles and vibrations and everything. It gets their attention really good,
Yeah.
especially if you're throwing like parallel with the bank or across like a point. And
No, that's exactly what I was doing. It was like I had myself situated, excuse me, on the side a little bit, and I was just throwing it parallel,
Yep.
and just bringing it back, and finally, I guess I agitated him enough to where he just popped up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right on. Have you are you familiar with Pete Rodents?
Yeah.
I believe his name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you bought anything from him?
Not yet. I'm very tempted to. I'm going to probably pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen any of his work in person, but I've seen plenty of pictures on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Man, he does awesome work.
Oh,
He
no,
does
yeah.
awesome work.
Yeah,
It's,
I want to get some of his local critter, the
Yeah.
little
Yep.
plastic litters. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. I think he does like some paint style. I can't remember what he called it. Dude, it's so badass.
His designs
Yeah.
on his actual like swim bait or not swim baits, the other like jerk bait ones that he does or whichever, those ones, the designs on those are
Yeah.
crazy.
I love it, man. And now that I make bait myself, like it's always been a thought, and it's always been something I wanted to do. Obviously, I ended up now that I actually do it. It's like a craft, man. It's like
Yeah.
an art.
No, it
And
is an art for sure.
As you like, the more you do it, the more you grow, the more ideas you
those
get.
ones I seen you do the other day just off of Facebook where you would put a little bit at first and then fill it in afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. It's just playing with it, man. Like sometimes you'll try something and it's a really cool idea, really cool concept, and it comes out looking terrible.
Yeah, sometimes.
And other times it works really good. You just gotta really just like think about it, apply it, and make adjustments where it's needed.
Trial and error.
Yeah, yeah, trial and error. Just like anything,
yeah.
working on anything, even fishing in general, trial and error.
This works, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But can't
Yeah,
let the failures,
No,
stop you.
yeah. So you're the second like bait maker more or less that I've talked to. The other guy I've talked to is Carl
Okay.
Beach with CNC Baits.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice.
I don't know if you've heard of him. Or
I've heard of him. I haven't met him. I don't know too much about him. But I have heard of CNC Beats.
Very very cool guy. And let's see his little stickers right here on my.
Oh, right on.
But yeah, he fairly knowledgeable as well, and his baits work.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. That's
for
the
sure.
goal. That's
His
the goal.
baits work.
That's the goal. What type of bait does he normally make?
So he has one that I don't see it anywhere else, but it's like his specific because he calls it a ball drop worm.
Okay.
It's more like a floating worm,
Right.
where he gives it a weighted head and it floats up.
Kind of. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Kind of sink with like the tail still up towards the top of the
Yep,
water.
yep.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
Those ones so far, I've tried those and those work pretty well.
Yeah. Does he give like a wide variety of colors?
He does have a wide variety of colors, but then also what's his name, Bass Bully?
Yeah. Bass Bully. Yep.
Yeah, Rick. I think his name's Rick.
Oh, okay. Is it? Okay,
Yeah, I think
cool.
I've met him a few times. He has his own basically color preset that Carl's made from.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I have to. The bait that I was telling you, I was just letting it like dry up so I could take it out of the mold and come over here. That's actually for Bass Bully. I'll have to.
Oh, nice.
I have to show you a picture of it after all this and show you how it came out. But I'm gonna be meeting him tomorrow for the first time.
Cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Now, I met him because I had a box of random plastic lures that I had bought for like $20. It was a mystery box.
Okay.
Bought it online, and that's all it does. They give you a bulk, like 20 pounds of plastic lures.
Yeah. So you don't even know what you're getting. Yeah.
There was all sorts of different ones, and it's like I'm not gonna use all these. And I kept maybe a small little Ziploc bag for myself, and sold them the rest for like $10.
Oh, right on. Nice. Yeah. He seems pretty knowledgeable
He
about
is,
all this,
yeah.
and he seems to be like really leading the charge on bringing like the community together and
Yeah.
doing those free tournaments. And man, it's awesome. I love it out here, man. I really do.
No, yeah, that's like one thing. It's just like how you said earlier. It's just the fishing community out here is everyone does slowly like come together. I know, just like recently there, I guess pay our respects to Julius
Yep.
Morales.
Yep. Absolutely.
And just with all like the whole group just coming together and just doing that's
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is. And that whole situation, man, it's a tough situation, but seeing how everybody pulled together was beautiful.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Have you heard like any updates with that or anything? Like, I know they took the tournament winnings, and I know they
No,
donated
yeah,
it
I
over.
heard that. Other than that, I haven't really heard much.
No.
Because I know there was that meet and greet thing that Pete did, Rodents,
Okay. Yep.
recently. I don't know.
Yep. I was actually trying to go to that, but I got tied up at work, and
I was out of town.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long couple weeks for me, so I ended up missing that one. I was actually super excited to go. Hopefully he does another one.
Yeah, well, it's
That'd
like
be awesome.
so that same weekend was like that YouTubers meet and greet that was in Phoenix
Okay.
with some of the what's his name, the fishing magician. I don't know if you ever heard of him on YouTube.
I've heard of him. Yeah. I've never I never heard anything about that going on over
Yeah.
in Phoenix, but
It was one of the local ponds or lake things jigs out there.
okay, awesome. Yeah.
It was him, I think, fishing with Porter. So it's like his other buddy Porter, and then another guy Drew with Southwest. I don't remember.
Yeah, I never heard about that one. That'd probably be pretty cool too.
Mhm.
Have you ever gone to any sort of like Bassmaster, like professional weigh-in or anything like that? Have you ever seen anything like it?
No.
Oh man, the way they do that stuff over there is awesome, and just being able to make a living out of like a passion like that, it's got to be so nice.
Well, it's like I'm kind of jealous of like the whole fishing magician guy. He sits there and just makes YouTube videos all the time, and that's what he does now for work.
Yeah, yeah. There's a well-known bait maker. His name's Chris Jones with World's Worst Fishing. Shout out to Chris Jones. He's like one of the most well-known like soft lure or soft plastic lures, whatever. Do it yourself. That guy does awesome work, man. Like I can watch his videos forever, and I know like he still has like a normal job or anything like that. But he's gotten himself established to a point where, you know, any video he posts, he's getting hundreds of thousands of
Viewers and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, man, he's awesome. He's got a really, really good following, but he's also got, like, the work ethic.
Yeah.
He's got the creativity for his baits and stuff. Yeah, that guy is someone you can definitely learn a lot from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's quite a few like those YouTubers and stuff that I've gotten like new ideas for how to rig up like my baits and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, let me try this. Tried it. It works.
Do you have, like, a go-to bait out here?
Not really. Besides live bait.
Live bait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
You-
times, whenever I'm going for, like catfishing and stuff, I use a cast net and catch little tilapia, bluegill, shad. Usually, those are my go-to baits.
Okay. Do you fish with them whole, or do you like chop them up, like chop bait or cut bait?
Depends on how I'm getting bites.
Yeah.
If I don't get very many bites with it live, I'll chop it up, put it back on, throw it out like that, and then sometimes I'll get a hit.
Nice. And you're mainly fishing canals when you're going catfishing and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Have you fished? You said you fished Mitri. Did you do any catfishing out there, or was it more for bass?
It was more for bass.
More for bass. Yeah, that's a beautiful spot, man. I've never caught fish out of there. I've tried. I've never caught a fish out of there. I've caught
You on a
fish
boat
everywhere
or
else.
shore?
Kayak.
Kayak? Okay.
Yeah. I have a 11-foot 8 sit on top.
Oh, nice.
I've paddled all over that lake. I've never caught
Yeah.
anything.
See, all I did was just like a quick little circle around, I guess, like that main center parking spot.
Yep.
And just from there, just went around and came back, and we were catching a lot of bluegill just right there, just in some of the little like cove things that they have with the little jetties and stuff that stick out. Just right there, we're just sitting there catching bluegill just for fun. And then finally, we were like, okay, let's throw some bass lures, and just started hitting up the edges and just going back and forth, back and forth. It wasn't until we got to the opposite side of the lake, the more northwest side, I guess as you can say. And that's where it's just like that's where the bass were starting to hit, and crappie, surprisingly.
Okay. Right on. Do you know Betty's Kitchen over
Yeah.
that way? Betty's Kitchen is awesome.
I haven't really fished that side.
No, I love that side, man. That's like when you're trying to go, like, kind of stay local and not go too far out there. That's an awesome spot.
Because that has direct access to the river right there, doesn't it?
It does. And there's right at the little boat ramp. If you kind of go left with the water, that's how you end up accessing the main river. But if you go right, you'll run into not really ponds, but like they're branch offs.
It's little backwater things,
yeah. They kind of look like little ponds. And then there's a rocky area back there that has, it's like a runoff. And when that water's flowing off that runoff, man, they tear it up. I've caught the biggest fish I've caught in Yuma so far has been out of there.
Oh, nice.
Out of Betty's.
Yeah, I haven't tried Betty's. I need to get out there with the kayak and check it out.
Yeah, I recommend Betty's to anyone, man. If you're listening and you haven't gone to Betty's, go to Betty's.
So, let's get into some of the questions. You already talked about yourself.
Okay.
So, what made you decide to kind of create this bait business?
So like I mentioned before, I used to fish a lot of tournaments. A part of tournament fishing, obviously, being competitive. I was always taught you don't want to let everybody know what you're throwing. So if another boat got pretty close, or whenever we'd go to weigh in, we'd put our poles away. That way people weren't seeing the bait. And I kind of had an idea once that if I was making my own custom bait, then it doesn't matter if people saw it or anything like that, because you can't buy it in the store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something that I would be making at home. So that was just a little thought back then, and I thought it was a pretty cool idea. But, over time, it kind of just faded away. It wasn't really, like, a severe interest at the time, I guess you could say. And then, as I got a little bit older, everything was getting more expensive. When I moved to Tennessee, there was no like fishing shops, kind of local.
Yeah.
I kind of have to drive 35, 40 minutes to get some tackle, and that got old. So
Yeah, having to drive back and forth.
yeah, that got old. So that thought ended up recoming back to my mind, and I started doing a bunch of research. I have a whole composition book that was like filled with research of what all it would take, like what material, how much it all costs, so on and so forth. And for doing, if you're looking at your colors and your pigments and stuff like that, they're not too expensive, man. They're only, you can get a 1-2 ounce bottle for $5-6.
Yeah.
And that can take you a long way. But it gets pricey.
You don't need much to really tint stuff, do you?
No, not really. I mean, some require more than others, but even then, it doesn't take nothing crazy. But where it gets more pricey were like the molds. Yeah. And that, I mean, you can look at a couple $100 just for one mold.
Well, it's just like the cost of the aluminum and then having to someone
get it milled
CNC
out.
milled out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started digging into all that, taking notes on all that. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, if I'm going to invest all this money into it, like, why not make a company out of it?
Yeah.
And I got all my molds and everything. I actually didn't open the business until I came out to Yuma, because after doing all that research is when I ended up enlisting in the Marine Corps.
Oh.
So when I got out here, I was out here for about a year, and then I decided to pull the trigger on it.
Nice.
And I've just been hitting it hard and heavy ever since, trying to get my name out there. Those free tournaments we talked about earlier, I'd sponsor them just to kind of help keep the the free tournaments are awesome. You'll get your recognition if you're a local fisherman and you win for the month. But what I like to do is sponsor the big bass of the month.
Yeah.
So, every month, whoever has the biggest bass, like, on record that month, will just get a free pack of bait. And I think it's a really cool thing, because it kind of puts my name out there, but it also is like it can urge people to get out there and fish.
No, yeah. And it's like, okay, it's more of a challenge now. It's like whoever can get the largest one.
Yeah, absolutely. And, if you're catching a nice sized fish, like, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Oh, no, yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I think it's really cool. It would be awesome if it was something that I can do full time, if I can get it to that point. But, I mean, if not, it's just something that I genuinely enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of just progressing as I go, and, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, like, I plan on being on one of those levels where, I'm making top of the line stuff that's never been done before.
No, yeah.
I have a couple like ideas drawn up of custom molds that I want to do.
Yeah.
I've been talking with a couple like CNC guys back east. Maybe I can introduce something completely new to the market. I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
No, yeah. It all comes down to like just like your design work, depending on whether you want to change up colors, but then also just the way the molds are though too.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, shout out to the guys that can CNC it, because you have to have like almost little channels that allow like air bubbles and air pockets and stuff to kind of release while you're injecting. And man, that stuff can be a science. So shout out to them, because they do really good. They do really good programming.
And I've seen recently how Bass Bully has been using a 3D printer to print.
Yeah, I saw that. It was I believe him and his son. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. I've actually heard of a couple people 3D print molds for like an open pour instead of an injection. That would be pretty cool too. To be honest, I'd be down to try that. I don't know how great they work. I've never done it, but I'd be down to try it.
Well, I think that's what Pete Rodents does.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he uses a 3D printed mold.
Oh, nice. I have to ask him how that works for him. I mean, obviously it's working pretty good, but see how that process works.
I know sometimes I have a 3D printer right here. If you want to.
Oh. Nice.
I print random things every now and then. It's like sometimes I'll print little holiday ornament things and stuff for family and stuff like that.
Yeah, right on.
But I was like looking at it when one day he was showing like his process so that how he was getting stuff printed up, and I was like, that's interesting. And I was like, why doesn't he do that way? But I'm like, well, it's how he's doing it.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working. He does some really cool looking stuff, man. He, if I'm not mistaken, he does a lot of like the painting, like a lot of painting.
He paints a lot because I think he's painting those ones for Bass Bully too.
Yeah, man, some of his color schemes and the way he can just flow with the paint is awesome. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I used to paint houses, and once I joined the military, I ended up being a like qualified painter for the aircraft, so I could paint aircraft. But man, kind of just feeling how like the paint and the air ratio flows out of the gun and the nozzle and so on and so forth. To apply it on such a minor scale as a bait and have it look such a like smooth transition and everything. Shout out to him. That looks awesome.
It's all in your prep work, really.
Yeah, I get that 100%.
So, you said you've been fishing for quite a while and whatnot. Basically, I'm guessing probably since you were a kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like same here.
Yep.
So, do you have any favorite fishing gear brands that you like to use?
Brands? I can't say I have a favorite brand, to be honest with you. I kind of vary based off of like what style lure I'm going with. So like if I'm throwing a Senko, I like Gary Yamamoto.
Yeah.
If I'm throwing a Lizard, I like Zoom. I'm not really loyal to one specific brand. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying just like lure brands or either. I'm saying like say like your fishing rods and reels. Is there like a specific with that, or just like say?
Just whatever I come across, man. I'll be honest with you. I know a lot of people who get stuff from like Dick's Sporting Goods or Sportsman's or whatever, and you'll spend $200-$300 on a rod and reel setup.
Oh, that's like me right here. It's like
the
yellow one, Mad Cats with a Penn Fathom on there. It's like a $300 to $400 setup right there, just in that reel and rod.
Man, that's See, for me, I didn't grow up with much, so all of my stuff came from like hand-me-downs and Walmart and stuff like that. So
I can tell you that right there too. That purple one, that was given to me
as
push
button right there.
Yeah, that was given to me as a gift.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
I know my ugly stick isn't up there, but it's like I think it's back there somewhere. But my ugly stick, I've had that for years, and that's what I grew up with using was an ugly stick from Walmart.
Yep. that's where all my stuff comes from, man. Not necessarily my tackle, but my fishing poles and rods and reels, whatever. 100% Walmart.
That's like the majority of these are from Walmart.
I know. I would imagine that if you're buying a $200, $300, $400 setup, like it probably is a difference in quality, like a noticeable difference. But I've never owned one, so you know, buying $100 rod and reel combo.
Yeah, I noticed the difference on that pen, just with reeling fish in. It's smooth, real smooth.
Yeah. I'd love to buy one, but I'm scared to buy one because I know that if I feel a major difference in the quality, I'm going to keep wanting to get them.
Yeah.
So.
And that's like same here. It's just like, I like it. I want to get another. So I actually recently bought 2 new rods that I have in the mail coming soon, because that casting reel right there that I have, that one is on a spinning rod.
Okay.
So it's just like, it's not supposed to go like that. It works, but it's not.
I mean, if it gets the job done.
Yeah, it's caught a few fish. And then that other one is going to be more of a backup that's right next to it.
Yeah.
And that's just like one of my Walmart combos.
Okay.
And that one's just like, I've had that one for a while. That one was my rod that my dad bought me, and we'd go ocean fishing with that one all the time. And it's like, I want to retire that one because I have another reel that's sitting back there that I actually got for free.
Oh, nice.
That green one.
Nice. That's a nice looking reel. Yeah, I tell people all the time, man, like, it doesn't matter what gear you have. You can have a 20-foot bass boat. You can have a $500 rod and reel combo. Like, the money doesn't catch the fish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Like, just go out there and have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have like a good idea, a good concept of how fishing works and how they like, you'll catch some fish.
All right, it's all in the presentation to the fish, really.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
They don't care if you have colored line or a glow-in-the-dark pole.
So you said you used to saltwater fish?
Yeah.
How's that?
Fun.
Yeah, I've never done it. I've never done it. I wanted to do a charter, and it's just never happened, man. I've always done freshwater fishing. I think it'd be pretty cool to give it a shot.
Well, so growing up in California, fishing out there is totally different than out here.
Is it?
Yeah. Fish different.
Really?
In general. Like, catfishing out there, it's like, okay, I can use like some stink bait and stuff like that. Catch some channel cats all day. Out here, I use stink bait and it's just like, is it even going to bite?
Really?
Sometimes.
Wow, it's that noticeable?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Sometimes.
crazy because we're not too far.
No.
Wow. I know, like, fishing out here it's a major difference from fishing back home. Because out here, the water's, it's clear water, so on and so forth. Back home, it's a lot of muddy water, creek water. But it also makes a little bit of sense because, we're 1,200 miles or more.
Different temperatures and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably way more than that, to be honest. But we're a good ways from where I grew up, so I kind of expected the fishing to be different. But California's just down the road.
I know.
That's kind of crazy.
And it's like, out here, it's like, there's no trout fishing or anything like that unless you go more towards, like, Phoenix and northern Phoenix.
Right.
And that's what I grew up on doing, was trout fishing and catfish mainly.
Yeah? Okay. So I've done bass fishing my whole life. Like bass, striper, and like crappie. So I've never done trout. We never had trout growing up. I did do a lot of catfishing when I was younger. I would say like 16, 18 was when I would go out there a lot. Because I just got my first truck, whatever. I'd go out there in the middle of the night, and I'd cast out a pole, and I would just sit there for hours, because, like, that freedom, that initial freedom, I would just cast it out there and let it sit. Yeah. And actually, I have a buddy back home. He just caught a 40, something like that, 40-pound catfish, just yesterday.
Blue cat or something? Or
I believe so. Nice. I believe it was. But, yeah, man, the river back home it's awesome for cat. I caught a 6 foot alligator gar.
Damn.
Still 100% my biggest fish to date. I wish I would have been able to weigh it. But we were in a 6 foot plastic, like, John boat type of setup.
Yeah.
And it was about 3 inches longer than our boat. So we had no choice but to cut the line.
Yeah. So you can bring it up right next to it and it's just like, this ain't fitting in here with everyone.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. But I think that's the biggest fish I have on record. And then that catfish that my buddy got, that was a solid fish.
Nice.
And I think that's his biggest one that he has on record. But that's all river fishing back home, man. You never know what you'll get. But out here, you know, the river here, it's at a point where it's kind of gotten narrow by the time it hits Yuma. So then it starts branching off into canals. It's the same thing, man. You can catch some monster fish in there.
No, and it's like I've seen lots of pictures and stuff, and other people that I've talked to and even had on the podcast that just on the river, either above Imperial Dam, I believe that's the majority of it, they've caught 40, 50 pounders up there.
Really?
Yeah, catfish.
Over by, what is it, Hidden Shores? Over that way?
I guess whatever, a lot of just the lower Colorado River.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures. What was it? I think you called it the 915. It's like the catfish page, Facebook page that you were on.
The 928 flathead?
928, that's what it was.
Yeah.
928, excuse me. I am on that one. I don't see posts from that one as much.
Lately, there hasn't been.
Maybe that's why. Okay. But I've seen some massive catfish on there.
Yeah.
And then if you walk into Sportsman's out in town, you can see, like, on their little TVs, they have pictures and everything. There's been some pretty big catfish that I've seen. I personally haven't caught any out here. But then again, I'm mainly fishing for bass most of the time. So
I don't know. The other day, it was kind of a treat for me where where were we? We were fishing out there towards like a lot of people call it the Y.
The Y.
Yeah, it's where the heel of gravity and like splits.
Okay, I'm not too.
It's over there
familiar
off
with that
95, kind of.
Okay.
We were fishing over there, and we were fishing there in like the Gila River area that's out that way as well. And we weren't really catching much over there, or actually no, we did. We caught a couple bluegills and stuff, little bait fish basically. We came back. We headed into town. I was right there, right off of Avenue A and 3rd Street.
Okay.
I think it's East Main Canal or something like that, or Yuma Main Canal. And threw on a bluegill, tossed it in. Within a few minutes, I had a 7-pound flathead on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I see people all the time, man. They'll post pictures of nice fish coming out of the canals.
But that was during the day, though, too. So it was just like, well, this don't happen normally.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'd say the canal fishing's pretty good out here?
Yeah, for the most part. I've seen guys catch good-sized bluegills out of there that are like well over the size of your bigger than your palm usually.
Right on. Yeah.
And that's out of the canals.
I've never fished them, man. I probably should. I probably should with all the stories I hear about the canals. But I don't know, something about going out on the kayak and just being away from everything. I love it.
It's nice like that too.
Yeah, I love it. But I definitely should at least give it a shot because I've seen some nice pictures coming off the canals.
Yeah.
Or a 7-pound, you said? Yeah, those are good sized fish, man. I got to give it a shot.
I know my biggest was a 12-pound channel cat off of one of the canals as well, but that was at like midnight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Was that the same one? The like main canal?
No, that was on the heel of gravity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Nice.
I was surprised with that because it's like, okay, my line went slack all of a sudden. Like, I had to cast it out. I think it was upstream. And my line went slack, so I was just like, the heck's going on here? Nothing. I didn't feel nothing pull it or nothing like that. I guess fish just grabbed it and just kept on going.
Just kept going, yeah.
And line went slack, so I'm just sitting there. Oh, well, why is this going? All of a sudden, the fish is right there in front of me.
Didn't even put up much of a fight?
Nope.
I see your stickers here, man. You got some awesome stickers.
Oh yeah, this is for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right on. I appreciate that. I'll make sure I put these on my my microwave that I use to heat up my plastic. Yeah, these are badass. Do you make these?
Yeah, I designed them all myself. Yeah.
Okay. Do you make them at home or do you kind of get them off like a Vistaprint or something like that?
So just a lot of the sticker companies and stuff. So it's just like I'll either choose from like Sticker Mule. Those ones I think were from Sticky Brand.
Sticky Brand? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of Sticky Brand.
It's just one of those random companies. It's like after I did Sticker Mule, they started popping up just like on my random feeds and stuff. I was like,
The algorithm
Yeah,
thing.
the algorithm thing. I was like, yeah, let me give them a shot. And they had a pretty good deal. It was 100 stickers for like $20.
Oh, that's not
So
bad.
I've got 3 different ones.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. These are nice, man. I like them. You design them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are nice.
Yeah, just something I threw together real quick. And I was like, okay, let's see. I like it.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put those on the fridge. Take a picture of it and post it. Give you a shout out on there.
That works. I know it's like there's a couple other guys that I've gone to. There's shout out to this guy, Knife Sharp on Instagram. He does all sorts of sharpening things basically. So
Okay.
if you need blades or anything like that sharpened, scissors, yard tools, he does all that stuff, and very reasonable prices too.
Okay.
So it's like do I have it on me? I do. So this knife that I have right here, this one, he fixed it. I broke the tip off of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't even tell.
And you can't even tell.
Yeah, he does pretty good work. 'Cause I couldn't even tell it was broken.
But yeah, he fixed that for me, and it was just like, oh damn.
You said his name was Knife Sharp?
So I think it's Knife Sharp on Instagram. Guy's name's Sean.
Sean?
Yeah.
Hey, good job, Sean, because you can't even see that was broken.
Yeah, you can't tell at all. But yeah, he helped me out with that, and he gave me a shout out on there, put a sticker on his little tool cart.
Nice. Heck yeah. You ever done anything like that? Like any type of like blade working, like metalsmithing, anything?
As a kid, or even when I was younger, I bought a little paint can forge.
Did you?
And sat there and tried to make my own blade, and I never got past.
Never got past it.
Yeah, never got past that.
Yeah, I've never given it a shot. I think it's pretty cool.
It
I used
is.
to, was it Forged in Fire?
Yeah.
It's a TV show. I used to watch that all the time, man. But I've never actually done it. I have some buddies that have tried it and gotten pretty good at it, but I've never done it myself.
I know my nephew's done it before, where he made a blade and he put a wood handle to it and everything, and he made himself a knife out of it.
Nice. Yeah, that's super cool, man. I don't know what handcrafted, like homemade stuff. I love it.
It's
I love
awesome.
it. I sit back and watch videos on it all day long.
Yeah. So another thing, I know everyone kind of gets a little. This is one of those, I guess, controversial topics. CPR or catch and keep?
I do catch and release, but I don't have a problem with people keeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been in, times before where like I was fishing or hunting for food.
Yeah.
So like in a situation like that, yeah, I'd keep it, and I don't blame anybody for keeping them. Or if I'm out in town, or not out in town, if I'm out of town and I'm camping or something.
Yeah.
I'll keep one if it's in regs, and
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and cook it up on the campfire.
Yeah.
But just if I'm out there just fishing, I'll catch and release.
Oh, yeah, it's like same here. It depends on, like, say, if I want fish tacos,
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
Yeah,
I'll keep one, bring it home. If I don't, then I'll get tossed back.
yeah. Like I won't keep one just to like put it in the freezer and let it sit until I want fish or something
Yeah.
like that. But if I'm out, like I said, camping, or if I'm in a situation where I need food, or anyone else, by all means. I mean, that's my viewpoint on it. I know it's I have a weird standpoint on controversial topics.
Yeah.
Because I kind of I feel how I feel, and if it's controversial, then whatever, and if it's not, then great.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just how I stand, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm stuck in my ways, but
No, it's like everybody's different. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions with stuff like that, so that's cool.
yeah, I just I'm not with the whole like, I don't know. A lot of people seem to like try to get with the times on things, and I don't know, man. I think everybody. The beauty of society is people like independently thinking on their own.
Oh yeah.
Like people being
Easily.
different is what makes you you. So if you try to adapt a mindset that matches everyone else, then you're kind of just going with the
Yeah.
crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll lose who you are.
Exactly. So it's like favorite species of fish to catch. Obviously, I'm guessing bass. More probably.
Always. I love it, man. I love it. It's like like a dopamine hit,
Yeah.
an adrenaline rush, man. I love it. Now, I would really, really want to go saltwater fishing, because I do feel like that's a level of excitement and
It is.
fight that I haven't experienced before.
It is fun. I've done like just from piers and stuff, fishing from the pier, and then I've done just like fishing from the beach as well. Beach fishing for me wasn't that fun.
No,
I didn't care for that not much.
I feel like it would be better at night. It would have to be.
Yeah.
Because during the day, like, there's so much going on.
Like we fished out there in San Diego's like Fiesta Island area.
Yeah.
And we were just fishing out there one morning. It was me and my nephews, and we didn't catch anything. I don't know
Really?
if it was just like the tide, bad time of day for the tide or something like that, or what. But just nothing. We were using cut up pieces of squid, and
Okay.
nothing.
I was in Florida not too long ago, over the summer, actually, the beginning portion of the summer, and they had a tournament out there where they were bringing in tuna, they were bringing in swordfish, they were bringing all types of fish, man. And I'm not too familiar with saltwater fish,
Yeah.
and like the species, so I can't go in depth and say exactly
Florida
what
has
they were.
like all sorts of different tropical fish.
Man,
Really,
they were bringing in some monster fish. Like some of the swordfish there were pushing 8-9 foot.
oh dang.
And I was actually a volunteer there, just volunteering, getting out. I just wanted to see, you know, I love fishing,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to see people, you know, they were pulling up in yachts and whatever, boats that, you know, cost more than my house 10
Yeah.
times over, and they were pulling out these monster fish, and it was super cool to be up close and personal with something like that, because I'm not used to that stuff. I'm used to, you know, a bass or a catfish or
Yeah.
a ring perch, something like that, but to see the you know, you're looking at an 8-9 pound fish or 9 foot fish, and it's like, man, I can only imagine the excitement of trying to fight that.
Hooking
into the
onto
boat.
that and sitting there working.
You're just
that.
waiting, and there's no way it doesn't take a couple hours to get
Oh,
them in.
no.
Like those are strong fish, so I think that would be something that would bring me just as much, if not more, excitement as bass fishing.
Yeah.
But just like being so familiar with bass fishing, and that's like mainly what I've done. That's kind of what I go to.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a fun time though. Like I just like fishing. It's a really good way to like decompress.
Yeah.
Just get away from everything. So to me, regardless of species, like if you're catching something, it's a good day.
Yeah.
If you're not catching a fish, hopefully you're catching a buzz. You know, like there's always something to be caught.
That is true. So back to saltwater stuff. So I've done like some of the charters and stuff done one out of San Diego and out of Newport,
Okay.
and both of them were real fun. We caught quite a few fish. There was even one in high school that I did. I don't remember if it was out of Newport, I believe, but it was like a nighttime one.
Oh, a nighttime one.
Yeah,
Really?
and we were catching squid.
Whoa.
Big
nice.
old giant Humboldt squid.
How's that?
They don't stop fighting.
No.
They don't get tired.
I've heard they're like solid muscle.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
they don't get tired.
I think you're the only person I've talked to that's caught a squid before. That's actually kind of cool. Were they like good size? Like, are they
These-
deep water? I'm assuming.
I don't. We were out not that far, but they were because they turn on all the lights on the boat, so it's just like any little bait fishies come up. So it's just like you're dropping your lure in, and these things are just boom hitting it and just running.
That's crazy. I don't even think I've seen one in person. To be
They're
honest with you.
so probably the length of this table, honestly.
Wow.
Body was probably just this half, and then just tentacles was to the end.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard they're pretty strong.
Yeah,
But like I said, you're the only person I've talked to in person that's actually caught one, and I've never even seen one in person. So I think that would be an experience. That would be really cool.
yeah. It was a cool thing, and that was in high school. It was with our football team, so it's like we all went out as a team basically and went
Yeah.
fishing.
So was that like a catch and release or like a catch and
It was
keep?
catch and keep.
Catch and keep.
Yeah.
Isn't they have like a beak like in the center underneath the body, right?
So there was a few that I think there's one that my dad had caught because he had went with us, and he pulled it up, and as soon as he got it to the top of the water, it released the beak somehow.
Whoa!
I don't
Like
know
off
if
its
he,
body.
yeah, I don't know if it released it or if he just pulled it out because of the pressure of them
Yeah.
trying to fight back.
Yeah.
That he pulled the beak out and the beak landed on the deck with us.
Whoa, that's crazy. I wonder if that's like a permanent thing or like you know how lizards can grow
No,
back
yeah.
tails. Like I wonder if I don't know. I mean, I'm not a what do they call them? I don't know. I can't remember the name.
Some sort of biologist
Yeah,
on
I'm
it.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like, that would be cool though if they could grow those back.
Yeah.
Be kind of weird, but it'd be cool.
But yeah, that was one of those trips, and it was fun.
So when you do, have you done any charters like recently?
Mm-mm.
No.
I've been wanting to do a tuna charter out of like San Diego.
When you do them, try to do them in like a group, or would you rather like just one or two people rent out a charter and going out?
I would want to do just like because I've seen the ones that I've been looking at are like 4 to 5 people
Okay,
as like your group,
Yeah.
and it's just chartered just like that.
that's not too bad.
Yeah,
Especially on a bigger boat, like you should have plenty of space.
yeah.
Yeah.
And those ones, I was looking at the price. It's like 2,300 or 2,600. So it's
Well, yeah,
about
but
like
if that's split between 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad.
so it's like 6 something per person. But for tuna, yeah, that's well worth it, and
Oh,
all
yeah.
the gear's included though too. So
Oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
You got everything you need. That was out of San Diego, you said?
yeah, it's out of San Diego.
I'll have to look into that. Man, I want to go on a charter so bad.
That's why it's like I was looking at that. I was like, okay, cool. That's not bad. I can get probably 3 or 4 other people to go with me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I tell my wife. My wife is she's from North Carolina, like the coast of North Carolina.
Mhm.
So she's used to saltwater. And I tell her all the time, it's on my bucket list to fish saltwater, just to do it, you know.
Oh no.
But I still haven't done it yet. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Saltwater's fun, but I always come back to freshwater no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. Freshwater's, it's like home. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Do you have any crazy like fishing stories?
Crazy fishing stories? Yeah, I got a couple of them actually. I was fishing with my dad when I was younger, and you know, like the bad stereotypes with like jet skis and stuff like that, and they're just like running up and down the lake,
Yeah.
having a good time, whatever. There's this one guy. I don't know if he was. I'm gonna assume he was intoxicated. But we were fishing, and this guy was like running up and down the lake, whatever, no big deal. We were in like a 19-foot bass boat, I think. And, you know, over the course of probably an hour, he's running up and down the lake, but he's slowly like getting closer to us. You know what I mean? Kind of to the point where, like, if you're casting out, you could probably cast farther than the distance he was to our
Yeah.
boat, you know? And one of the times he actually ended up getting close enough to kind of almost spray us, like if he were to hit
If
a
he were
hard
to, yeah.
turn. And yeah, that to me, I mean, I know that's not really crazy, but that to me, that's something I remember heavily, because
It's
just
like
like
a close call kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah. And it wasn't even like it was necessary. Like we were on a fairly large lake, you
Yeah.
know, so it's kind of just like a respect thing,
Yeah.
I guess.
No, yeah.
Like-
There's like the common courtesies and stuff.
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
distance respects. It's like you don't want to. You're on a boat and someone else comes on a boat. You don't want to be like right next to each other fishing.
Yeah.
It's just like no.
And then like fishing tournaments and stuff, man, I've seen people like almost come to blows for like at weigh-ins and stuff,
Yeah.
thinking like people running their mouth, like toxic fishing community. So back home, the reason I say like the fishing community out here is awesome. Like back home, like everybody has like a I'm better than you mentality, right? I kind of noticed that as I like kind of grew up from a kid like into like a young man and so on and so forth, is you kind of get more not exposure. I'm not gonna say exposure, that's a bad word for it, but you kind of just pay attention more,
Yeah.
I guess.
Observe it and whatnot.
Yeah. And you kind of see like a lot of people, like if you catch a nice fish, it's like, oh man, like that's awesome, but like that fish isn't 5 pounds. You know what
Yeah,
I
they
mean?
kind of
Like,
they talk crap on it a little bit.
And
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, cool, whatever floats your boat, but like, I don't know. I'm someone that like if you see something and you don't like it or disagree with it, like
Don't say anything.
yeah, just don't say nothing,
Keep
man.
it to
Like, who cares? But being back there, like I've had some crazy times at weigh-ins to where like people were almost coming to blows and stuff over it. But as far as actually being out on the water, I haven't had nothing too crazy. I know last summer my dad was out on his kayak with his wife, my stepmom, and it was either he or she ended up seeing like this beaver that was coming at him,
Oh jeez.
but it was like aggressively coming
Yeah.
at him. Like they were taking the paddle and kind of like
pushing him back a little bit.
And when he would resurface, he was coming back at him.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't there for that. I can't speak on that one, but that's the story I got. But I wouldn't say nothing necessarily too crazy. I guess the craziest thing I've experienced would be like just some situations at weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got anything crazy fishing wise?
So, a couple of years back, we were fishing in Northern California. I think I've told this before on one of the other episodes. So we're fishing in Northern California. It was Lake Isabella. And I don't remember what I was using for bait or whatever, but caught a catfish.
Okay.
Caught a catfish. It was a good size channel cat. Brought it up, showed everyone. My line snapped. Fish falls. You know how catfish have like little spines on the pectoral spines?
Yep.
Through my knee, through my shorts, through me, out my knee, out my shorts.
Oh, no way.
So I was like pinned like on my knee.
Oh, man. Dude. Did you have anybody to like give you a hand? No?
No.
What'd you do?
So I'm sitting there with the fish flopping on my knee, and I'm just like, what do I do? Luckily, there happened to be another guy that was float tube fisherman.
Yeah.
That was just going by, and he had a pair of pliers. He seen like the whole thing happen.
Okay.
And he's like, "You need some help there?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Here's some pliers." He tossed them to me. I cut the barb, the fin off, basically.
Yeah.
And I couldn't pull it back out because they're barbed.
Yeah.
So it's like the reverse barb. So it's like I pull it out, I'm just gonna tear the rest of my skin right there. So I had to pull it all the way through.
Oh, dude.
Didn't feel a thing though. I was just like all the adrenaline
And
of
everything.
catching a
Yeah.
fish.
I bet you felt it after though. After all
Yeah.
the adrenaline wore off. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen my uncle. My uncle had a kind of like a fishing pole that was leaned up, like propped up against the truck while he's tying on a bait. Mm-hmm. And it ended up falling over. And it was a crankbait, so it had like the hook on the front and the back. Yeah. And it ended up going in his thumb, and it was way past the barb.
Yeah.
And they took some fishing line and wrapped it around the hook and tried to like yank it out, which was stupid.
I've seen people do that, and
It's so stupid.
It comes out sometimes. Other times it just digs in deeper.
Yeah, but it has a barb.
Yeah.
So like regardless, like it doesn't want to come out.
Yeah.
You know, they ended up having to actually like push it through the rest of the way and snipping it, which they should have done in the first place. Let's be real.
No.
But but
It's like you don't really want to cause more pain by doing that, but it's like that's the right thing to do.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I remember messing with him about that after, and I was like, "Yeah, I bet you feel stupid for trying to rip that thing out. Just end up pushing it all the way through."
Yeah.
But that's good times. It was funny. I mean, it wasn't funny for him, but I had a laugh.
Oh no, I've had my fair shares of getting poked and stuff by hooks and stuff. There was one where, like, I was watching videos on either YouTube or whatever it is where people were like slingshotting their lures across.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me try that one day. I was like, oh, no.
I've never tried it, man. I've never given that a shot. I have like kind of done like an underhand cast in a way and like skipped across the top of the water.
Yeah.
I've never done that slingshot thing.
That's why I was like, I seen it one day. I was like, let me see. Thunk, and just went right into my thumb. I'm like, oh, nah, not trying that again.
I have a lot of bait casters. I feel like that's like a backlash waiting to happen. Like one wrong, angle or something, the wind blows something.
Yeah.
Something's gonna go wrong. If I try it with my luck, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, so I've done a few of those like that, and it's just like, oh man.
It's cool though. Some people get really good at that. Mm-hmm. I can watch it all day long. Like you'll have an 8 to 10 inch, kind of like gap of overhang from brush to the surface of the water, and they can shoot it in there like that. And
I've seen them.
That's really cool.
Or that, or they, like how you said, the underhand skipping.
Yeah.
They just and skip it right into that.
Yeah, I'm not on that level. I can skip it some, but I'm not on a level.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
Like, they do really good on that, man.
That's like my brother-in-law. One of these last times that we had went fishing, we had went. Where were we? We were right there by that area that I was saying earlier, the Y.
Yeah.
There's a spot right there. Just there was a small little opening, and he was fishing I think it was like a little minnow with a spinner on top.
Okay.
And he threw it in, and he caught a decent sized smallie out of there.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. My biggest smallie To date, came from Yuma.
Oh, nice.
Came out of Yuma. Senator's Wash, actually,
wow.
specifically. It was, I think it was 3 pounds, right at 3
nice.
pounds. Which, back home, if you're catching a 1.5 pound, 2 pound smallie, like, that's pretty decent size,
Yeah.
But out here is where I actually got my record for that, my PB.
That's cool.
So hopefully to go up again. But, if not, 3 pounds isn't too bad for a smallie.
And not at all, really. For me, I think I told, so that one fish that I caught in Mitri, that's my PB bass.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Don't really know the size of it and stuff, but that was my biggest.
I carry those like handheld scales you can.
Oh
get
yeah, I
from-
carry one too.
Yeah.
But it's like that day, I'm like, I'm on the kayak. I didn't even think about bringing it.
Yeah. I have my wife. Shout out to my wife. She got me a fishing bag that it came with like the compartments to, like store lures in and everything. And then it has a bunch of extra zippers for just little storage, and it has a spot that you can molly on like attachments.
Oh, nice.
So I keep my scale, my handheld scale.
It was just like kind of clips on right there.
Yeah, and I keep it in there all the time, just because you never know. you
Yeah.
know? And if there's a fish that I catch and it's just it's a nice fish, but it's nothing too crazy, then I'll just let it go. But if it's a good sized fish to the point where like I'm actually curious about the weight,
Yeah.
I'll weigh it real quick and then I'll let him go.
Nice. No, yeah. There's a thing that I've currently been doing. So this hat that I'm wearing,
Yeah.
fishy AF. So I'm on they have a fishing quest, I guess you can say.
Okay.
So where's my pin? So my first pin that I got was for 5 different species.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So currently I'm on my quest to get 10 species, and I'll get another pin.
So is it just like a video to
No,
kind of
just
prove
picture.
it's you? Just a
Picture, and you have to have some sort of their
apparel.
apparel.
That's actually pretty cool. Is it like an online thing?
I think it's either like Facebook or Instagram.
Facebook or Instagram? I have to
Yeah.
look them up. Fishy AF.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look it up. That's pretty cool.
And they have some for bass too. So it's like those ones you actually have to do like a video weigh-in
Okay.
and show them because they
For
have
like the weight.
because
okay.
they have 3 different pins. So it's like a 3, a 5, and a 10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. If you're catching anything over a 10-pound bass, like
Yeah.
you're hitting double-digit bass. That's a nice fish.
Well, some people out here I've seen them catch
Yeah.
like 9 pound.
Oh yeah. I think my PB for bass is 6. So like if you're catching 10, that's solid.
Yeah.
And I've seen people pull out 13. And it's that's like
So
so few and
it's a
far
solid
between.
fish, so.
Yeah, it's so few and far between for that species that like when you see it, man, it really catches your
Yeah.
eye. But if you correlate that over to a catfish, like it's still a nice fish. Don't get me wrong, but I mean I've seen people pull up 40, 50-pound catfish.
Oh, no, yeah.
And then it's like, all right, it's a different 13 pounds. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But that's still a nice fish.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to get at least my a 20 pounder.
20-pounder?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. Just give it time. Give it time.
It's like I'm slowly getting there. It's like I think my smallest one that I've caught out here that was a flathead was a 1.1 pound.
1.1.
Yeah.
It was a flathead. You said.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that in the canal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one actually won me. That one actually won me something for one of the tournaments.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Smallest fish.
Well, a win is a win.
Yep. A win is a win.
You ever do much fishing in the evenings, like the sunset?
I've done though. So when was this past Sunday? I did.
This past Sunday.
Yeah, this past Sunday I went out. It was the Gila River where it crosses by going down. Was that 7E? Down that way. Just right there where it goes under the bridge. Me and my brother-in-law, we went down there and we were fishing there for a bit. Caught a couple. Whatchamacallits. I think I posted on there too, on the Yuma Bass
Yeah.
English page.
Okay.
And it was a small little dink, but I was like, yeah, it's a fish.
Yeah. Hey, a fish is a fish.
People were giving me crap about it though on there.
Yeah. I've caught fish. You were explaining something earlier, kind of similar to a whopper plopper, like a topwater
Yeah.
bait. Last summer, I caught a fish that was literally the size of my bait,
Oh, I believe it.
and I don't know, I can't justify why he hit it, but he hit it.
Yeah.
And I kind of put on my Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a picture of it, and it was not even the size of my palm. And it was still attached to my bait. And I told my buddies, I was like, this is why they call me the Bassmaster.
No, it's funny. It's like so I fished because I have like I have a couple little Rapala shads.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'll use those every now and then. I have a pink one and a green like gill looking one.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll catch bass that are like the same size, like I said.
Yeah.
Same size as that freaking lure.
It's so weird, man. I don't know why. Like, they're not going to eat that. Let's
Yeah.
be real. If that was another fish or something, there's no way. But I've also caught fish. I've caught fish with the tail of another fish still sticking out of its throat. I guess it hadn't like fully processed the food or whatever, and still hungry. That's interesting. Have you ever had that happen before?
No.
No.
Well, besides like the live bait that I had.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. I caught a bass. It was nothing crazy, but it had a little bluegill kind of still in its throat.
It's like talking about that little 1.1 pounder.
Yeah.
Catfish that I caught.
Mm-hmm.
If he wouldn't have swallowed the little tilapia that I was using as bait, he probably would have been under 1 pound.
Oh. You still would have won.
Yeah, I still would have won, but it was funny because it's like I'm sitting there and the tail's still sticking out of its mouth. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting there trying to get my stuff ready to weigh it, and next thing you know, it just like swallows it down, and it's just like, really?
More weight.
Yeah. But it's like I needed less weight.
Yeah, fair. Do you ever participate in those like little tournaments that they do out here, the free tournaments we were talking about earlier? For like, I think it's mystery weight and then like the big bass or whatever.
So I was doing the one that he was just doing just for the random raffle pick.
Yeah.
So I did that one.
Okay.
Where it was just catch any bass or whatever it is and just post the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I did that one, and other than that, I haven't really gone out to target bass. If
Really?
I have gone fishing.
Okay. I got you.
I've been just mainly just whatever I catch, I catch.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I think for me, like, if you take the knowledge that I have for bass fishing and then correlate it to any other species, I'm like ignorant. Like I can go out and catch other species like catfish.
Yeah.
I can go out and catch catfish all day long. Other than that, like, nah, I'm ignorant, man. Like I'll catch other species, but it's by accident most of the time. I don't know. I've always loved bass.
It's like one of the last times. So before I went on vacation, we were out fishing for carp.
Okay.
Yeah, we were using just pieces of corn, basically just on a hook.
Yep.
Tossed it out there. I caught 2 carp that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I caught
was surprised.
carp once when I was young. I'm waiting for my little girl. She's just over 1. Just
nice.
over 1. I'm waiting for her to get a little bit older. And I'm gonna take her out there. Try to get her on a carp because they're big. And
they are big.
But it would also be really cool to just kind of watch her. Like, she'd probably freak out a little bit. Let's be real. But it'd be funny though. It'd be funny.
I've always seen like the videos of kids and stuff catching something. They freak out and they're just like, and they just drop their rod and it's just like,
Yep. That's a great time. I've seen kids throw their pole into the water just out of a freak out. Just a quick little let go, and there goes the pole and the fish.
Yep. My dad's actually had his pole stolen like that once.
Really?
Yeah, he had it set up on a rock. He had just casted it out, and he was helping my nephew set up his. Pole falls over and voom,
There it goes.
gone.
I see videos. Do you know how people put kind of like a GoPro?
Yeah.
They'll put a GoPro on the back of their boat or something. And like I saw a video of this one guy, and if I'm not mistaken, he had his rod kind of just dangling in his arm, and he was on his phone, and then the rod like got ripped right out of his arm.
Oh, jeez.
Dropped his phone, and his phone fell in the water, and he was kind of like stuck looking at both, didn't know which one to go for. It's like some of those videos they'll get on the boats, like sometimes it's a nice fish or whatever.
Yeah.
Other times it's like a blooper like that.
Yeah.
It's great, man.
Well, it's like growing up watching, what is it, Bill Dance?
Bill Dance?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Bill Dance videos, man.
And all his bloopers after.
Priceless.
Yeah.
I love it. Good old Bill Dance.
Yep. Well, I think that we covered quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shore fishing or from a boat or kayak preferred?
At night, sure. During the day, probably kayak.
Nice.
Yeah, because at night, you know, that's when I mean, you can catch bass at night, whatever. But I like catfishing at night, so
I've
I
never
kind of
tried
just
for
cast
bass
out
at
there.
night.
No,
Mm-mm.
top water,
Hmm.
love it. I don't know what it is. It's like just like sunrise and sunset.
Yeah.
They pull up and get active at nighttime. It's the same thing. Like I've thrown top water at night and destroyed bass. But
So
the
I've seen that
problem
with like
is-
striper
Yeah.
at night like that.
Yep. But you just if it's dark enough, like you know, in the middle of the night,
Mhm.
you're not seeing like if you're on the river, there's a log floating down the river or whatever, you wouldn't see it. You get hung up on it.
Yeah.
So that's why I normally stick with bottom feeders at nighttime, and I'll cast out there and start a little campfire,
Mhm.
hang out with my buddies, drink a little beer. That's what I was saying earlier. If you're not
Yeah.
catching fish, at least you're catching something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun. I'm excited about the community out here in Yuma. They got a really good fishing community.
No, yeah, that's
Um,
for sure.
Definitely kind of want to get more involved with it. So I don't know, man. It's been a blast so far. I've only been out here for a couple years, but it's been a blast. So I'm enjoying it.
No, yeah, it's like from what I've seen so far too. It's just like you ask a question on there, someone will usually give you an answer for something.
Yeah, absolutely. They might bust your balls a little bit.
Yeah, for a little bit.
I don't blame them.
Because I remember when I first started asking, it's like, okay, where's a good place to fish, but not someone's honey hole? And then next thing you know, people are just like, water,
Yeah.
water. I'm just like, okay.
Yep. It's funny though, man. Sometimes I've seen a couple comebacks like that.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah.
It's gold. But you know. But yeah, I'll definitely have to show you a picture of what I did for Bass Bully. It's I'm pretty excited with how it came out. It's a whole new concept for me, but it came out awesome. The way
That's
the
pretty cool.
like colors played together
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah, it's exciting. And then actually I have a little surprise for you I gotta grab.
Cool. Well, I guess any shout outs or anything like that before we end this?
Yeah. Shout out to Two Side Outdoors, obviously. Thank you for having me, sir.
Oh,
I
yeah, no
appreciate it. It's been
problem.
a good time. It's been a pleasure to meet you. Shout out to Pete Rodents. Like I said, I haven't gotten anything from him yet, but his work, man, it's awesome.
Oh, no, yeah.
It's so awesome. Shout out to Bass Bully for leading the charge here in the local community.
With a lot of the bass anglers and whatnot.
Yeah, yep. And then last but not least is Chris Jones. Shout out to Chris Jones. He's the one that kind of taught me unintentionally, I guess, like non-directly. Has watching his videos, man, it's where I've learned so much about making bait, and that's what really helped me turn it into a reality.
That's cool.
Was taking like something that I really wanted to do, and it was always just a thought, and then actually making it real. You know, it's because of him, man. He's taught me a lot through YouTube. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been fun. It's been a great time, man. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, yeah, you too.
Well, thank you for having me as a guest.
Oh, no, yeah, no problem. So, some of my usual plugs are shouting out to 928 Flathead Boys, Joseph Lugo.
Okay.
And usually it's like anything you need catfishing wise, just hit him up on Facebook. He'll get you set straight, basically.
All right. Right on.
And shout out to, I guess, the brand ambassador stuff that I do. So, Official Patriot Gear.
Okay.
I got a code with them, so it's 2side10 for 10% off.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I might use that now. I like that shirt. I might have to use that.
And then also with Fishy AF, I believe I think it's the same code, or it might be 2side Outdoors. I'm not too sure. I have it somewhere. Let me find it real quick.
Right on.
But for Fishy AF, oh no, it's just 2side.
Just
for
2side.
15% off at Fishy AF.
Okay. Cool deal. Yeah. I guess my last shout out would be my actual LLC, Lloyds Lures LLC.
Oh yeah.
On Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. I post a lot of videos on Facebook, TikTok, so on and so forth. I don't use Instagram as much, but I still have an account on there if you want to follow it. Yeah, it's been fun, man. All my bait is custom. I don't like doing stuff that can be bought in the stores. I like being creative.
Oh
so,
no, yeah, you got to be one of a kind.
Yeah, feel free to follow my page and kind of just watch as I grow and develop.
Cool. And on that note, we'll see you guys next time. Tight lines, everybody. Until next time.